As a self-professed frugal person and also following the path of minimalism, there are a lot of things that I do not buy. But there are 5 things specifically that I actually buy more of as a frugal minimalist. But if you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I make videos all about saving money and living a more simple life. I'm also documenting our journey to paying off our mortgage by the year of 2024 and ultimately being financially independent. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, am I a minimalist? Am I not? There's also something just called simple living. Obviously, there are different interpretations of minimalism. You make up your own. It's all about living with the things that bring you joy and what actually you need. So whatever yours is, you let that be. So I want to call myself today kind of frugal minimalish, maybe, or just living a simple lifestyle. So let's talk about the 5 things that I actually buy more of as a frugal minimalist. The first thing we buy more of are bird feeders. We have a whole setup just behind our fence for the birds. We are on probably, it's about 0.4 of an acre, and we have woods behind us, beautiful woods, and the nature behind us is amazing. We actually have a lot of deer behind us as well. Last season, we actually saw twins. It was the most precious thing. They were actually just out there this past weekend. We opened the door to go check on a bird nest that is on our patio. The bird actually planted, somehow we had left a soil bag open, and she put her nest in there, and we have 5 eggs. I was just checking on it, make sure everything was good, and we opened the door and there were 3 deer out behind our fence. So getting back to the bird feeders, we are really into watching the birds these days, especially our hummingbirds, and just knowing the story about hummingbirds and how they come back to the same place usually every single year. We have our hummingbird feeders, and we're getting some squirrel-proof bird feeders for our birds out there. We still have the ones the squirrels can get into, don't worry. But one of the things we love are our bird feeders. And what does that do for us? Well, it brings us joy, because one of our favorite activities may seem boring to some, but it is sitting out on our back patio and watching nature, especially on a Sunday afternoon during the summertime, the spring, summer, into fall. We will make a yummy appetizer, get some cold drinks, and go out there while our daughter plays maybe in a sprinkler or with chalk or something, and just chit chat. We'll have music playing, and it's just a good time and something that we look forward to and something that's free to do, and one thing that we'll always have memories of. So the first category are bird feeders. The second category are high quality items. We are very much not the type of people who prefer cheap anything. Now, that is not to say that something that is inexpensive is not high quality. So you can certainly find things that are high quality on sale or that just aren't astronomically priced. However, we make sure that we check reviews on that item. We check all kinds of details as far as making sure that it is, good material, good quality overall, and the reviews are probably the biggest thing that you can look at. But we make sure that we buy high quality clothing, shoes, furniture, everything that we want to last a long time. There is something called planned obsolescence that is happening, and it's where things that used to last a lot longer don't last as long, and it's actually on purpose so that you continue to consume it. Took me a long time to actually be able to spend more on things like clothing, shoes, furniture, not just to go out and buy name brands. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just quality items that you wouldn't necessarily know they were more expensive than something that was less expensive, but they last longer. For instance, a t-shirt. I went through years of just buying cheap t-shirts because I could not bring myself to spending more than $10 on a t-shirt. Well, it did not pay off. I actually spent more in the long run. That's the same thing with furniture. Buying all this stuff that you can go buy, and it's made of the fiber wood, and it splits whenever you put the screw into it. It's not going to last through a move. You try putting that on a moving truck and moving it to your next place and making sure that it doesn't break. Good luck with that. I prefer buying classic pieces that will not go outdated. I do not feel like I have to replace my decor or my furniture or the things in my closet every single season. That is what marketing wants you to do. The third category that I make sure I spend money on is my health. I recently finally broke down and went to see a chiropractor. I just couldn't take it anymore with my lower back and my upper back. And when I stress out, I really hold it in our muscles. Stress does more than just in our heads. It really does affect our bodies. But for some reason, we want to continue to work through the pain. Our brain causes our body pain with all the stress, but we don't want to take care of our body. We just want to keep pushing through. Well, we've got to stop sometimes, and not just think about our head and actually think about our bodies. This is what gets us through life. This is our vehicle. We've got to make sure it feels good. So I spent money and finally went to a chiropractor, and I feel great. It has just made a world of difference. I was so scared to go to one, but I finally did it. Now, and that's just not going to a chiropractor. It's just taking care of your health, the way that you eat, the things that you put in your body, making sure that you do get movement and you're moving around. That will also help. Seeing a doctor when you need to, when you feel like it's the appropriate time, trusting your gut on that. The fourth category that I do spend money on is tipping for good service. I especially like going out to a restaurant. I just enjoy going out to eat. And there is nothing worse. Well, there's plenty of things worse, but it is really unfortunate when you get bad service. Somebody who just hates their job and does not want to be there, or, there could have been something that happened prior to their shift that really upset them, and I'm sorry for that, but it, for me, it affects what they receive. And if somebody shows their concern for me, making sure that I've gotten what I needed, are super friendly, and just give good service, they deserve a good tip. So I make sure that, anytime that society says it's a tipping situation, that I try to give a good tip. And it's always fun for me when you give to somebody who's like, oh, thank you. They're just taken off guard. There is nothing, well, again, there's plenty, I'm not sure. There may not be much better feeling than actually giving. Giving is an amazing feeling. And it's just one of those presents that you can actually give yourself, because there's something about that feeling when you light up that person who maybe they were having not a good day, but they didn't let it show. And maybe you helped them out financially a little bit, perked them up just a little bit. It may seem small, but if we all can do a little bit, it will make a big difference in the kindness, I believe, in the world. The fifth category that I make sure I spend money on are healthy foods. I purchase oat milk. I love oat milk. Planet Oat is the only oat milk I actually like. It's the regular version, not the unsweetened, not the vanilla, not the extra creamy. It tastes, to me, you gotta make sure you shake it up and keep it cold, but to me, it tastes just like skim milk. I love good oat milk. I also love Brussels sprouts, and Brussels sprouts are super expensive. Probably more right now because they're typically grown, I believe, in the wintertime, and it's summer here, but I love Brussels sprouts. So I make sure that I am filling my body with these healthy, yummy vegetables, no matter the cost of them necessarily. I definitely try to get them at the best price I can, but what you're going to find is that most of the foods that are inexpensive and cheap are the foods that are just full of stuff that's not good for you or full of sugar. And those are typically the things that you're going to find in the middle aisle. So things that are quick, convenient. They're packaged so that they last a long time, but the stuff that they put in them is not necessarily good for you. So that is a list of the 5 categories I actually spend money on as a frugal minimalist. Tell me, what do you, as a frugal person watching this video, make sure that you spend money on, and why? Put it down in the comments below. I would love to read it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.